We have been waiting for a new Friday the 13th film for so long now that the fans had to go out and put it on themselves to make their own Friday the 13th films. And yesterday, being Friday the 13th, there was a brand new Friday the 13th fan film release called Jason Rising, directed by James Sweet and co-written, ladies and gentlemen, co-written by Vincent DiSanti. Name might ring a bell. That's because he is the master behind Never Hike Alone and Never Hike in the Snow. And those are two of the best, if not the best, Friday the 13th fan films ever made. So, going into Jason Rising, very high hopes with that name attached to this project. And after watching the trailers for this, I was jacked. So, after watching it, what do I think? Am I still jacked about it? Am I a little let down? I think it's time that we are going to find out my thoughts on 2021's Jason Rising. Let's get into this, J-Man. Welcome back to the channel, everybody. I really appreciate all the love and support from you guys. Welcome back to Faccis Cinema. The channel has been growing at a nice pace. I just passed 1,500 subscribers. It feels really great. It really does. So if you have not already, feel free to jump on it and hit the like, share the shit out of this video, and subscribe to this magical Fudge Monster world, because I would love to have you in it and interact with you and, you know, just grow as a nice little community, nice little family. It's badass. But Jason Rising, like I said, came out this year on Friday the 13th, August 13th, 2021. It had an Indiegogo campaign. I definitely backed it because it looked fantastic. And they definitely delivered. Most of this film I really enjoyed. There's a few nitpicks, a few, but like I said, this isn't canon with the rest of the franchise, you know what I mean? This is a fan's vision of what they wanted, you know? This was a story that they wrote up, and this is the way they decided to go with it. Some people are going to like it, some people are not. That's just the way it is. For instance, Friday the 13th Part 3, I freaking love. And a lot of the majority of people do love it, but if you go on Rotten Tomatoes, it has a 7%. It's bullshit. It deserves better. It's a great film. So, it really doesn't matter what the critics and the ratings say. It's all personal preference. So, this story takes place after the final chapter. It doesn't really specify if it was right after. I'm going to assume it's literally right after. It's these group of inmates. Surprisingly, they're women in this movie. Not to say women can't do this, but I just, you know, assume it to be men. They escape, and the Wessex County Sheriff Department and like the U.S. Marshals are going through the woods in Wessex County trying to track them. What they don't know is that the fugitives run into a very beautiful sight to see, Camp Crystal Lake. They run in there. They are thinking that these, you know, the marshals and the police will not follow them in there because of what it is. Because the one girl knows what happens there and explains the story about Jason's mother getting decapitated and then Jason seeing it and coming back. Okay. The story does focus a lot on Jason's mother. It does focus a lot on Pamela. It's the way Jason, I mean, he was really never dead whenever they tried to bury him the first time, but his mother comes back, and the weird thing is, it's literally his decapitated mother. So, his mother comes back. She has no head because the head's in Jason's shack, like it should be. But she has the strength of a headless older woman who somehow got resurrected and dragged Jason's body back out, including the wooden casket box he's in. So, it's a little far-fetched, and it's a little nitpick. It was kind of weird to see it, but I definitely could see where they're going with it. Camp Crystal Lake is obviously a cursed place. It has definitely demonic, I guess, resurrecting powers in Camp Crystal Lake. So, I mean, you just gotta roll with it. It is a little weird to see, but when Jason is opening the freaking top of that box and you see his fingernail, he looks... If you loved the final chapters, Jason Voorhees, Ted White's portrayal, you will love this movie. This Jason looks identical. It is the best looking Jason that we've seen in a very, very long time. I did like the Jason, Ghost Jason from Never Hike Alone and Never Hike in the Snow, but I think this Jason tops that one in my personal opinion. It screams Friday the 13th. The atmosphere in this film screams Friday the 13th. We got the campground, we got the woods, the lake that actually seems like a lake. It just has Friday the 13th splattered all over it, and they definitely nailed down the mood and the atmosphere. Obviously, it was missing the Harry Manfredini scores in the Friday the 13th music we're used to, but obviously, being a fan film, if you do not have the rights, you cannot use that kind of music, so it makes sense that they had to use their own personal music. I cannot get enough of Jason in this film. It's everything I wanted Jason to be. He's brutal, he's scary, he's fast, he runs, he lurks, it's perfect. The whole thing screams Friday the 13th. And let me get to... My favorite part of any of these movies, obviously, are the kills. And James Sweet did not shy away from the kills in this film. Being an Indiegogo campaign, obviously you're on a limited budget with limited funds for like special effects and whatnot. The special effects were fantastic. The kills were some of the best we've seen. This is Jason in his purest, rage-filled form. I can just watch these kills on a loop. He is violent, brutal. He sticks a machete through the back of a girl's head and out of her mouth and then pulls it back out. He rips a dude's spine connected to his skull out of his body. It looks like some Victor Crawley shit. And for a Friday the 13th film, you're like, it worked in this film, believe me. And then he reused that same spine as a weapon a little bit later. And I was just thinking about this the other day when I was out in the backyard with the kids. How come Jason never uses a chainsaw? Holy boom! You guys delivered for me on that too. You let Jason use a damn chainsaw. It looks so good. He's running with the chainsaw, dude. Like, that's the Jason that's scary. The running Jason. Because he can catch you. He is not shying away. He's not going to take these secret paths and teleportation powers. No, he's running after you. And that is scary. That gets your heart bumping. I was involved in this movie from the beginning of it till the end. Never lost interest. I don't know. Besides the little things here and there, this is right up there with Never Hike Alone, I'm not going to lie. This is a fantastic fan film. If you have not checked it out, definitely go. It's free on YouTube. If you haven't backed the Indiegogo campaign, shame on you guys. Shame on you. But it's all free on YouTube. Go check it out. Show these boys some love. They deserve it. They put a lot of work into this. And it really shows. For being a fan film, the acting is actually pretty damn good. It's not bad. I mean, you latch on to the cop characters. I mean, it's like, this movie is literally kill after kill after kill after kill. Like, boom. There ain't no surviving this. And then when you think it's over, and when you think Jason is dead, is he? Because here comes Mrs. Voorhees again. But this time, it is kind of weird. She put her head back on her body. That's another little nitpick. It's kind of weird, but this is what they had in mind. And you want Mrs. Voorhees in these movies, I keep hearing people say. Well, here you damn go. She's in the movie. And it don't get much better than that. So, I mean, you're getting Mrs. Voorhees killing, trying to kill, and killing. You got Jason killing. What else do you guys want? This is the tag team duo over here. Mrs. Voorhees and Jason Voorhees doing killing together. I love the fact that Mrs. Voorhees is always in Jason's mind. Everything he does is for her and for revenge for what happened to him as a boy, as a young child. And when they show Jason, when he's in the lake without his mask on, he looks fantastic. When he was like younger, it looks amazing. Jason looks amazing himself. His face underneath the mask looks great. it's Spike. I will honestly probably give Jason a 10 out of 10 in this movie. I'm not even going to shit on you. And no, I'm not just kissing these guys' ass this whole entire time during this review. I really do mean it. I stayed up extra late just to watch this bad boy last night. I had to get it done on Friday the 13th, and it was fantastic. I can't get enough. I got to watch it today, I think, with my kids, because my one son Logan's been begging to watch this movie after I showed him the trailer, so I'm going to have to rewatch it again with him for sure. But if you're into bloody, gory, amazing kills, this is definitely the movie for you. I mean, he double axes a bitch. He axes her in the head, then axes her head off. This Jason ain't playing around, and I dig the hell out of it. The final girl, you didn't think she was gonna like do anything. Obviously, the new female cop, she was kind of, she didn't know the police lingo. She was kind of, you know, people were speeding. She's just doing her own thing. She's like, she doesn't care. But when she had to step up, she stepped up. And obviously, this was a whole spoiler-filled review, so I'm just gonna keep rolling with it. The ending was amazing. You see this walkie-talkie going off in this lady's house. She leaves, and you have no idea who it is until they show back up at the end of the film to cut Mrs. Voorhees' head off. I'll give you a hint again. Alice from the first film came back for this one. I don't really know how that works because she was technically killed in the second one. Unless this one ignored the second one completely, which it would have had to. She comes back and cuts off Mrs. Voorhees' head again. And then what does she do? Jason comes in and Alice takes out Jason too. Stabs him with a machete and sticks a screwdriver in him. Kind of like he did to her in part 2. Another thing, this movie had amazing callbacks. Whenever the one U.S. Marshal, I think his name was Bear, he was boxing Jason, boom. Jason takes Manhattan in the Julia scene. A nice, subtle callback. It was amazing. The callbacks, obviously, with Alice, fantastic. And then they made a funny joke and said, Bear was like, what's on the other side of this fence? And he was like, just some land that's been a lawsuit for a couple decades now. Throwing some shade at Sean S. Cunningham and Victor Miller about the whole Friday the 13th lawsuit. I dug it. I thought it was hilarious. This movie was amazing. And then, at the end, the therapist calls Alice on the phone. And guess who the voice of the therapist is? Amy Steele. Jenny from part 2. I wish we would have got to see her in the film for real. That would have been badass. Because obviously she didn't die in part 2 if it was included. Whew. Gosh, this movie has me pumped, guys. Got me jacked. Go check it out right now. Right now. And if you haven't seen it, you know, go watch it, then come back and check out Facci from Faccis Cinema, giving it all the praise and love that it deserves, because I've really had a blast with it, and you guys need to go out and support it 100%. So hopefully you guys enjoyed what I had to say. If you didn't like the film, let me know in the comments below what you didn't like about it. And if you did like it, definitely throw some love down in the comments section. I'd love to hear what you loved about it, to see if we kind of line up and match. But that's all I got to say about the new Friday the 13th fan film, Jason Rising. It's badass. Go check it out. I think I'm actually going to go watch it again right now. So, Jason, kill for mother. Have a scary day, guys. Boom! It was so good. I can't get enough.